morning. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Or afternoon, afternoon, or evening, evening. Depending on where you are on the globe. Hello, whoever that is coming in saying hello. Those that are coming in, positive vibes, greetings, and welcome, and thank you for joining. Thank you for stopping by here on TikTok Live. TikTok Live at the one and only, raw, rare, real, and tried and true. Bloom from within love. I go by bloom, bloop, 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 bloop. No, Bloomy. Anyway, to the high vibe, Bloomy Tribers out there, I sincerely hope you are doing well. I hope you are doing fine. I hope you are in your power. I hope you are being a decent human being and becoming the best version of yourself more and more and more each day. Because essentially, that's what it's all about. When we remove all of the fluffers and feelers, at the end of the day, it's about aiming to be the best version of you from the inside out, not just cosmetics. And when I say cosmetics, aesthetics, externals, but truly from the inside out, being a decent being. Decent. We should look into that. We should do a word search, definitions. Decent. What is that? Now, what I want to talk about, I want to shine some further light on communal narcissism, but I want to do it from the place of just talking about like everyday life practicality and some extreme examples that we're most familiar with to help some of you out there to make the connection. Why am I aiming at communal narcissism right now? Well, that's, to me and my personal esteem, that's one of the most vicious forms because there's an illusion that's really big of the person or the group or the organization are major givers. So it's really hard to detect when you're not discerning, in the know, or educated about these types of things, right? Case in point, because let's just play with it. It's hard until you're knowledgeable. But how do you know? How? Because on the surface, communal narcissism, so I invite you all to look into that as well for yourself. So from the outside, you're going to see someone that is opening the doors. You're going to see someone that is paying for the person behind them for their coffee at Starbucks. You're going to see them put loads and loads of money in buckets. You're going to see them at Boys and Girls Club, Make-A-Wish Foundation, cancer societies, donating their birthday monies. You're going to see all these things, right? You're going to see them cooking. You're going to see them, sweeping the floor, mopping the floor, on the floor with a toothbrush. You're going to see them in many forms of acts of service, giving. So how do you tell? How do you know? So here's the unfortunate thing about it. It's no different than any other form of narcissism. The only ones that are going to know about that is the ones that's on the targeting end. Narcissists are always going to care about their image and appearance. So unfortunately, the masses are not going to know because they don't have to be around the masses 24/7 and they can't keep up an appearance with the masses. People in their social, personal world, only some will know the target, the scapegoat, where the narcissist, what I call narc out, because they're having to wear a mask all day. And so they have a target that they dump, okay, because they're having to perform all day, every day in their respective arenas. So they have the scapegoat and the target that serves as their energetic dumpster. So the only one that's going to know about that is the energetic dumpster or emotional dumpster, depending on what type of abuse is taking place. So I want to pose some questions. I like to refer to Ike and Tina's story because it's one of the most horrific stories we know physically, but it was more than physical. Okay, the things he's done to her, you all are familiar. She has shared her story. There's movies about it, so it's no big secret. It was more than that. It was more than physical abuse. It was more than those things, right? But I want to pose a question. Did Ike take care of Tina? What do I mean? Did Ike provide for Tina? Did he give her money? Did he make sure she had a place to live? Did he make sure she was fed? Did he give her beautiful things? What is the answer to that question? Did Ike do that? We're not going to get into the part about his intentions and all the other shit just yet. We're just reducing it to, did he do that? Yes or no? Did he give? Did he provide? Yes or no? The answer is yes, he did. So here's the next question. So since he did do these things, as a matter of factly, the next question is, does it mean that he didn't abuse her? Does it mean that he was not toxic? Does it mean that he did not have mental problems? The answer to that is no. Why am I breaking things down like that? Because the masses get stuck. And because the masses aren't behind the scene with those that are the target of narcissistic abuse, unfortunately, some of the masses add to the abuse. Error for lack of knowledge. And this 3D thinking that we have, these 3D things, he did take care of her. He did. It, albeit as twisted as it was, knowing the history and the story of how that came to be, but he did. He still did. She lived a lavish life. Okay? Now some would say, well, hell, she earned it. Yeah, sure. She was a performer, but even before she got into that, Ike, took her on prior to her becoming Tina. So while she was Tina in training, hi, hello, thank you. Whoever said hey, beautiful, yeah, I know. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. Hello. I'm acting like my son, like when I just did that, because when I tell my son that, like, after he cuts his hair and he takes his shower and put on his whatever outfit, I'll be like, oh, son. I'll be like, you look handsome, do whatever. He doesn't say thank you. He says, I know. And I was like, I'll be like, what? I'm like, you mean thank you? And he'd be like, I know, I know. I'm like, no, you mean thank you. Anyways, I digress. So before Tina became Tina, she was just a young girl. Okay, she didn't come in, you know, dancing, bitch. You know what I'm saying? Like she didn't come in right away. So she wasn't earning just yet. So he, like I said, albeit as twisted as all of that was, but he still took her in and provided. He took care of her needs. He provided a roof over her head. He fed her. He bought things for her. He gave her things. He gifted her things. Even before she started being his moneymaker, because she became his moneymaker essentially, right? That's where it all, blows up. But before all that happens, he was a giver and a provider. But it doesn't take away the fact that he was toxic, mentally ill, and abusive. Emotionally, psychologically, sexually, physically. This is why I say it serves the masses to get out of that 3D limited thinking. Oh, they gave them this and they gave them that. Does it not mean that that person was not still equally abusive? Oh, I'm not doing a reading right now. I'm sorry. Whoever's coming in. This is just a little discussion, but I'll be uploading the readings I did last night onto my YouTube. I think they're done processing. If you're interested in seeing those, and I'll probably do one maybe today if I have time. We're talking about communal narcissism. And we're talking about it from a different angle. We're talking about how people try to equate someone giving and providing to try to negate the fact that there was abuse there, that there was toxicity there because they gave them this, they did that, they bought this, they provided that. That doesn't mean that they're not crazy. It doesn't mean that they didn't do some fucked up shit. But since people have a tendency to look the other way when dealing with communal narcissism, which is like a branch of covert narcissism, okay? Somebody says, okay, have a good day, sweetie. Thank you. You as well. So this is what makes the surface of things really dicey. And like all narcissism, the abuse is never going to be done in public. Okay. Now, in Ike's case, Ike was considered more of an overt, okay, for the most part. So some of the more aggressive, they may they may do some crazy shit in the public, right? But usually narcissists like to have an image that is totally opposite to what they are. So their toxic shit is done secretly. Spell work. That's one of the things, okay? Because spell work is done in the dark. It's in secret, and they can deny it. And what's going to help them to look like they're not doing that is by being a giver to their target. Yeah. This is what gets people all fucked up. Does providing mean that someone was not abusive? Does providing mean that someone was not abusive just on the premise of the giving? The answer to that is no. Error for lack of knowledge. In the world of narcissism, those that are on the malignant side of it, there's going to always be, this is not going to change, there's going to always be the group of what they call flying monkeys. That is a technical term. So this is another reason why I'm putting it out there the way I am, because some people think they're doing something by talking to this one and that one and this one and that one and this one and that one. And if they are a part of the flying monkey group, they're only going to reiterate the narcissist's narrative, whether it is out of fear or they are on the payroll. There's some type of payoff. That's not going to change. This is why it's important to be a deep thinker and a discerner, a deep feeler, discerner, and reader of energy. Because if all it takes to convince you that someone is not toxic or abusive, in some case criminally insane, is because you see them giving things and they let somebody lay on a couch. If that's all it takes to convince you that they're not crazy, you're uneducated. You're uneducated. You do not have understanding. Because I just pointed out, did Ike provide for Tina? Yes or no? Did he take care of her? Yes or no? The answer is yes. And I just pointed out, now does that mean he was not a lunatic? Does it mean he was not toxic? Does it mean that he was not abusive? Does it mean that the answer to that is no? So, if that's the case, what does it tell you? On a grand scale, universal scale, what does it tell you? It's time for people to wake up and get out of the way. Do not become a part of the problem. By adding insult to injury to those who are targeted. Somebody says thank you for that. Oh, no problem. My pleasure. Things like this needs to be said a lot more and maybe put in ways to bring people into looking at life. Not just the technical information that we gather. We do get this information. But how many people are abused on some way, shape, or form, fashion by lunatics, and because they're being provided for, nobody's believing it. Or because they gave somebody $1, or they gave, boom, bitch. They always smiling somewhere, giving some dusty face somebody a piece of chicken to take a picture and put it in a paper. It doesn't mean that that person is not closet abusive to their targets. I'm speaking on behalf of the survivors, but I'm also speaking on behalf of the voiceless, on behalf of many children, on behalf of the elderly, on behalf of the disabled community that's under the control of lunatics. And ain't nobody saying nothing. Well, I am. Because they gave to the autism society. People automatically think that they actually love this population. I am here with many to expose it. People that don't have a voice, or they'll be discounted because they're disabled. I'm here. And I ain't going nowhere. Doesn't mean when a person and a group gives amount of a money, so and so, and they post all of these wonderful things on their social medias. Does it mean automatically that they're not abusive, that they're not abusing those very same people? Does it automatically mean that they're not doing fucked up shit? These are the great tactics and cover-ups of all time, and it's time for people to know that. Folks are not going to likely look at you as suspect if you are posting that you are contributing. Wake up. Things aren't quite as they seem. Get out of the way. Don't become a part of the problem. Do not add insult to injury. You have to pay for that. Get out of the way. Do not become a part of the masses that abuse the target by taking up for abusers. Get out of the way. Did Ike take care of Tina? Long before she was a money maker, long before she became the bread and butter, did he take care of her? Yes. But does it mean he wasn't a lunatic? No. Does it mean that he didn't abuse her? No. There's all forms of abuse. We must expand our mind in this as well. There's all types of abuse. Psychological abuse, emotional abuse, physical abuse, financial abuse, sexual abuse, spiritual abuse, energetic abuse. And they all have effects. And they're not easily detected. abuse of power. This is why it said giving power to the wrong man and woman is detrimental to any village. Giving power and authority to a tyrant is a burden to the community. And I'm here to deal with that. Because someone can give a big old huge donation, because somebody have all of the niceties, these people, these types, are very intelligent in studying people's weaknesses, wants, needs, and desires to cater to that on the surface. So because somebody can curtsy and say yes ma'am and yes sir, doesn't mean they ain't crazy automatically. Because someone can say things like, go in the name of Jesus, make good choices. Does it automatically mean that they ain't doing crazy shit? Does it automatically mean that they're not equally doing heinous shit right after they said that? Because someone has the abridged version or the unabridged version of the Bible sitting on their living room coffee table with the Last Supper on their dinette, their dining room kitchen wall with black Jesus. Does it automatically mean that they're not abusive because they have this? Because they have all of the nice quotes and paraphernalia all throughout their business, all throughout their organizations, all throughout their homes, all throughout their social media. Does it mean? Does it automatically mean that they're not toxic and abusive and in some cases criminally insane? Because they have a soft, low voice and they walk with their shoulders hunched over and they wear a cross around their neck. Does this automatically mean that they're not fucked up? Because they hold a sage bundle. And they sit in Reiki circles. And hold tarot cards. Does it automatically mean they're not fucked up? Because they have a degree. And they work at the children's hospital. Does it automatically mean usually in these cases, All of these things in which I mention only further helps unwell people to be unwell, because they have more and more things to hide behind. More and more illusions to trick people with. I have a degree, I'm a doctor, I work at a hospital, I'm a nurse, bitch. I'm, woo woo. Don't mean I ain't crazy. Not automatically. Because I can quote the Bible from front to back. Because I can preach. Because I can sing like an angel. Doesn't mean I don't have a secret life. Does it automatically mean I'm not fucked up? Because I'm at every Sunday service. First one there, last one out. I will do this periodically as a reminder. I am here to speak for those that are silenced. I am here to speak on behalf of my ancestors. I'm here to speak for those no one will listen to, no one will hear, automatically discredit them due to their age, due to their disability, due to one thing and another. I'm here to expose bullshit. Oh, I have grown to love this journey. I know why I'm here. And I ain't going nowhere. Not until my higher self says so. And not until why I'm here is done. Get out the way, don't be a part of the problem. It is no badge of honor to have all sorts of labels that means nothing in and of itself. It is no badge of honor. Because someone can sit and say what a text says, yet the life is shitty and they're a shitty person. It is no badge of honor. Just to have spiritual and religious bents. And I'm here to make sure that's understood. Being decent. We're going to look up that word. There are a lot of people that are sadists in the closet because they're communal narcissism, but they get their jollies off of trying to make things hard for their targets. Trying to watch, their targets suffer. This is what they get their rocks off of. So I'm here I'm here to expose that and put an end to some things. And for those that can hear, help them get out the way, because if they don't, they'll go down with them. Get out the way. Don't be a part of the problem. Question your loyalty before your loyalty costs you. No one gets a pass. We will receive what we put out there eventually. And if we're a supporter of deceit, we're going to reap some stuff of that. Get out the way. Don't be a part of the problem. Question your loyalty before it costs you. I have been one amongst many, coming from the hard space to put the information out there for folks that will catch it and do themselves a solid before they ruin their own lives. If you are aware of any type of abuse and any of the aforementioned things I've said, and you ain't doing nothing about it, then you are a part of the problem. Because having knowledge and then sitting in a corner and doing nothing is just as bad. Become a part of the solution. And guess what, collective? That is what being a decent being is.